Hello, this is a free call from an incarcerated individual at SCI Fayette. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored.
I'm Safir. I'm a Muslim prison abolitionist currently incarcerated at SCI Fayette, dedicated to exposing the criminal justice system and dismantling the prison industrial complex. So this is a live conversation from the organizers of P.U.M.P. All of us are incarcerated at SCI Fayette. We call on the line. We want to discuss pulling up my people. We want to discuss the event that we're trying to throw. We wanted to give a raw and uncut look into a dialogue amongst prisoners. You know, we know there's a lot of prisoners on social media now. A lot of people like doing podcast interviews and stuff like that, but we haven't seen where a group of prisoners organized under the same group, in this case pulling up my people, got together to really, discuss their situation. So we wanted to do something different. This is a prisoner generated podcast, meaning that we run the podcast. We have administrative control over the podcast. We decide what's coming out, when it's coming out, how it's coming out. We do this alongside of, our outside accomplices who, definitely give their input, but also respect that, we got a project that we're trying to do, and they're trying to make it happen. So this is a look into our conversation, similar to a conversation that we got on the block every day. Follow us on Instagram, Punk Nation 2021. Yeah, man, this is Bert from North Philly, the chief strategist. Tune into in the next week. We attempt to give y'all raw and uncut conversation from this side of the world. This nice guy from Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia. I want to try to keep pushing forward, pulling up people and helping, and just trying to help those at-risk youth and help them behind the walls and get home and continue to do what I'm doing in here, out there, and trying to be productive and have a nice platform and backing and coming together with everybody. Fair, Bird, Beak, T.I., and all the people I got out there in support. My name, T.I. Stokes. I'm from Southwest Philadelphia. I'm a father of a baby girl, even though she's 17 years old. I'm a Muslim. I just try to be an advocate for growth in life. Yeah, my name Lee. I'm from Philly. I'm one of the co-founders of P.U.M.P. I'm one of the guys, a part of this event. And, I'm encouraging everybody out there that, want to put the neighbor back in hood in our city and in cities around the world. Like, come, participate in the event. Come show some love. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking forward to, y'all helping, y'all supporting us.
My name's Ian Scott. I'm a student organizer in New Hampshire, and I've been working with Safir for about a year now. I help him within the Mix podcast by recording these phone conversations, editing them, cleaning up the audio, publishing them, running the social medias. I feel like I'm just one component of this larger machine that we're trying to build to get people conscious, get people organized, build people power, and hopefully bring down these structures of capitalism, settler colonialism, racism, and build a better world. Now, let's get into the conversation with P.U.M.P.
So, before the idea for the P.U.M.P. event, we had already known each other previous to this. Like, I've known these brothers for years. Some of them have known each other longer than I have. We're all Muslim, so we're all a part of the Muslim community, and we're pretty active in that regard. And basically, like for me personally, when the brother Taj came up here is when I started kind of reading about abolition. Like I already knew about the injustice of the system. I already knew about its corruption and oppression. One, because I experienced it. Another angle through studying Islam. But once I started reading about the history of prisons, and I was able to start like having a vocabulary to put the words on my experience and put the words on my pain. It really opened my eyes. And prior to the pandemic, most of us were all on different blocks. But what wound up happening is once the pandemic happened, people started getting moved around for various different reasons. Me personally, I went through the hole. And then when I got out the hole,
State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
When I got out the hole, I landed on this block. And we were still under tight restrictions, so it was hard to communicate. But Tion was over here, Nice Guy was over here, Burke was over here already, and I started building with Burke a little bit about, prison abolition. He had already been studying that. So we were building, we were talking, and then also, we were doing some inside-outside political education correspondence study groups. So there was a group that had been in contact on the outside State College called Allegheny Abolition.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
They wanted to do a study group, so I'm like, all right, let's go over a book called Rethinking the American Prison Movement by Dan Berger and St. Glossier. So I approached Tion, and I'm like, you trying to get down on this study group. So then Tion started telling me about, how he read Asada in the past, and he read all these other books, and he was down to, do the study group. And then in the study group, me and Burke, we started reading what Tion was writing. And for me, that sparks on my mind, because I've known Tion for years, but I didn't know this aspect of him. And then, Burke approached me, because we know Tion's situation, right? Tion got a life sentence, a homicide that he didn't commit. So Burke approached me like, look, we know his situation, we know he's in the courts, but, he needs legal help. What can we do to get him a lawyer? And that was originally how it came to me. Yeah, so for me, it was like, in the city of Philly, we're going through a moment right now where everybody's level of awareness of the corruption in the legal system in Philly. It's been on everybody's mind. So Philly actually elected a very progressive DA. So a lot of the brothers around us started getting rhythm in the court. And for me, as I was looking around, Tion was like the only one that wasn't getting this rhythm, and I knew like the backdrop of his case. So it was like a natural progression for me. He's been a pillar in our community for as long as I've been here. He's always aided and supported his brothers in every way. And I've been around Tion for like over 10 years, longer than anyone in my family. So naturally, his burden of pain is like was my burden of pain. So, and for most of us, we always had the idea and commitment to reach back. There was just like no infrastructure or network for the brothers that were going home to reach back and get involved in that stuff. So when you put, it was just like a natural.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
So when you put like the right nucleus of that in the mix, you get like this special blend. So I was going back and forth with Affair over the situation and just talking to him about it. And it was crazy because when I discussed it, Lee was sitting right there, and everybody like already had that idea in their mind, and it just kind of came together and grew into this thing where we, support each other and we try to make it bigger than just Tion's situation and try to make it like a systematic thing. And Lee probably could speak to how he came into it. Yeah, basically, I was kind of like under the same act as everybody else. Just basically all of us pretty much having legal assistance, and some of us actually overturning our life sentences, and some of us actually on our way out the door, inshallah. So basically, I just looked at my bro like I wanted him to have the same exact conditions that we was under. You know what I'm saying? And this pump thing that we attached to it actually originated from me just starting some t-shirts years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it really didn't have no legs under it. I didn't really have nothing to actually attach it to until, all of us came together organically and just wanted to help the bro. So now it's like, it's more of the movement got some substance to it now, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody came together and we just wanted to help the bro out. So basically, pumping, just motivating each other, encouraging each other. You know what I'm saying? And we hoping that our situation inspires some folks out there because we under the most egregious situations and circumstances, and we came together with our own pennies. Nobody didn't give us a dollar. We all put everything that we had to help our all our resources together. So we just hope, the folks out there can see this as a, inspiration. If we could do it under these circumstances, then they can do it out there. I got with my bro Tion. We was in the yard, and everybody else was playing handball. We was at the weight pit. And, I basically had got with him about, just trying to figure something out. It wasn't on this scale because I didn't know everybody had the same ideas of trying to help the bro out. And basically trying to talk to him, he was basically like, no, he's cool, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else got their own situations, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be a burden. Basically, he's so used to helping folks that he ain't even, that was the last thing was my people coming together to help him, you know what I'm saying? So I basically had to wrestle him for 45 minutes, figuratively speaking. And finally he consented and we all got together. And then, I talked to Nice. And then he was on the same page. And then, all this just came together and that's how this came about. Bert had got with me and saying the idea we had. And I had informed him that I already had plans on having a few dollars for Tion.
You have 1 minute left.
He'd rather that the money go to his daughter for a car. So first, we can get him out there. We can worry about that later. He's able to get his daughter her own car. So when he talked to me, my brother, this was a year ago, he talked to me. He had some money that he wanted to put to it. So this is how it came about. And we just got together and talked to Tion Sunday and myself. I know we don't he didn't want to be a burden. Malik said that everybody has other things going on, but we figured we come together collectively, it would be much easier. It wasn't like it was a burden on all of us. And we all can try to figure some things out and pull in our resources and get some things figured out. And it went from there, and it looked like it's been heading in a good direction. First and foremost, like I told the people we were speaking about it, when he first asked me how I felt about it, I'm very grateful. Very grateful because this is a situation that's foreign to me. It's almost as if, my whole life I've been the one helping everybody else. I've never been on the receiving end of help. So this is why it may seem to the brothers that I have a stubborn approach about accepting the help. It's not that. It's just that it's something. Even when me and Nice guy spoke about the issue when he first told me that he had something for me, months ago, my decision making and saying, I'd rather go to my daughter getting a car was because, as a father really wanting to be a father in prison, you get the understanding that parenting is the ultimate defining meaning of sacrifice. So I was willing to sacrifice, what it seems as if I need the most for my daughter because she's worth it. And because I didn't get a chance to actually be a father to my daughter. So I wanted to let her know that, in this sense, even though it's a tangible thing, that I really do love her. So this is why I chose to go that route as opposed to sitting this money somewhere and, not really having a platform to build off of at that time to actually add to it to obtain, sufficient lawyer. So this is why I went that route.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
All in all, I'm just grateful of
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I hope, by the mercy and permission of Allah, that the next round I'm in a position to help somebody like I'm being out right now. Yeah, and I think one of the things to realize is, we're not all best friends or anything, right? We're not all real close with each other. We're getting closer, especially now working on this. But we're all a part of the Muslim community.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
And we all, have experience through prison, and, one of the things that, when I talk to most of the brothers about prison, and about its place in our society. It's really a simple question, but sometimes a simple question can bring the clearest of answers. And the question is, has prison made your neighborhood any safer? Has prison made your neighborhood any safer? And when we all sat and we answered that question and we looked at it like, no, prison hasn't made our neighborhood safer, right? All these people locked up in here and it's still going down out there. All of these police running around out there and your block still ain't safe. So, we have to examine that, analyze that, and say, obviously, prison is not working as a prevention of harm, which is one of the greatest principles in Islam, to prevent harm. So if that's not working, then we have to start examining the alternatives. And that's where P.U.M.P is, pulling up my people, right? We're examining the alternatives. We're saying that we got to get our people out of the trenches. We got to get our people out of prison. That's number one.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
And then number two, right? When we enter back into society, we don't want to enter back into the same situations that we left, right? We want to make our neighborhoods better. We want to make our neighborhoods safer and more secure. So then we look at that. Well, what does a neighborhood need to actually be safe? A neighborhood needs, adequate access to money, right? We need access to jobs. We need, access to nutritious food, housing, medical care, drug and mental health treatment, all these things that make a neighborhood safe, right? Instead of just locking everybody up and throwing away the key, what can we do to contribute to a positive community? So, we're all bringing something to the table here. We all have various people helping us work on this situation. I'm reaching out to a lot of outside organizations for help, like Amistad Law Project, Freedom to Heal Us, Allegheny Abolition, a bunch of the groups, and they responded, and they're definitely helping. Even like
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Fayette. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
And even individuals, like Ian, who's recording this right now, and, a bunch of other people that are helping us out, and we all did that. We got formerly incarcerated people on the street. We got our families helping. Like, Lee got his people helping. Hey, what you got going on out there?
Basically, I got the fiance, Shanae, she's running around, trying to sell tickets and, getting the event space. And trying to get people to, promote it, advertise it, and market it. I got my sister running around. I got my dad who actually got cancer right now. He actually took some tickets because he loved the cause. I got my little cousin. He's running around. He's a promoter. Like, just a bunch of people, once they heard that we were supporting somebody and putting our own resources and money into it, we in jail, I guess it just inspired them and lit the fire in them. And they kind of, put everything that they had going on in their life to the side to try to aid this brother, because even though they don't know Tion, they know somebody like Tion, and we all got a Tion in our family that been locked up by the criminal and justice system. So, they all just wanted to, help as best as they can with whatever they could.
We got people that we were locked up in here with out there helping us. Right? I think nice. You in contact with some. What's going on now?
So yeah, we got a brother that was up there who he's in contact with him. He's ready to get them tickets. We're trying to work on him doing some other things. And people that I got, most of them was locked up previously. My brother doing some running around, reaching out, getting with Tion dad and his sister. And the person I call now, my friend he's in doing some work with some tickets and going get some people to come in as we reaching out people now to come in at this event. And we have Ibrahim Bookstore who's involved, trying to help. And Sharif, he's involved trying to do some things, get in contact with a previous guy that was up here, Will, who knows Tion, is from the neighborhood, so they coming together collectively, them two, Sharif and Will, to try to assist. And many more people who trying to do things to help.
Yeah, we definitely need some more people power out there, because with all the accomplishments that we're making, all the successes that we're achieving, there's still so much work that needs to be done, even on this project, on other projects. We got our expert strategist, our lead strategist, Bernie. Maybe he can break that down. I don't know.
No, the
way the American legal system works, right, it's like an assembly line. When we step up, of course, routinely rubber stamp unfair trials all the time. So when we step up in the courtroom, you have to fight first the black charge, then the Muslim charge, then the poor charge before you fight the shoddy and corrupt police charges. You know what I mean? And the most abusive party that we got to keep highlighting and put at the forefront because this is important. The most abusive party in this legal system are the prosecutors. The corrupt practice and pattern of prosecutors are shameless. They do not care how they obtain convictions. For instance, the witnesses against P.U.M.P, they were all literally unreliable, corrupt informants with corrupt motives looking for an easy way out. They all admitted that they wanted to benefit in their own cases in exchange for testimony against P.U.M.P, right? And because P.U.M.P was unable to afford an attorney, he was unable to effectively defend himself against such a corrupt practice of giving desperate defendants and get out of jail free card to implicate someone in a crime without any corroboration. So the standard of admitting evidence should have integrity to it, right? Especially when there's someone's liberty on the line. Corrupt prosecutors should not collude with corrupt informants with corrupt motives to have a contest of who wanted to tell a story first. If the shoe was on the other foot and P.U.M.P was to beat those guys to the punch and tell an incredible story, he would not be in jail today. And this is the standard and practice and pattern of gaining conviction at all costs. And this is what we got to keep highlighting and keep putting in the forefront. Some of these practices that we face every day in this criminal justice system. You know what I mean?
Well, April 20th, I was convicted of first-degree murder, unjustly, of course, as, the district attorney put before the courts as their evidence, two federal informants that came about 5 years after the crime happened and told the court that I told them this, yet and still, even when you weigh their crime against the evidence that preceded and that was already established back in 2003, their story was corroded and corrupt. It went totally against everything else that was being said. You could just tell it was so much intertwined in.
You have 1 minute left.
How they even convicted me. And at that moment, already
you have 1 minute left.
You don't have thousands and thousands of dollars sitting in the shoebox waiting for
you have 1 minute left.
A lawyer when you don't even know what's going on. You just in prison doing your time thinking like, all right, I'm gonna try to get home to my family as best as possible, as soon as possible. And then the worst thing happened to you, and that's when they come charge you for something 8 years later that you never even did.
Yeah, I'm just saying that anybody that's already supporting, thank you, and people who
you have 1 minute left.
Don't support, we just thank you on behalf of P.U.M.P and us. We want to come home and try to be active and being a cure instead of the cancer we once was to these same communities. We did things that.
So the P.U.M.P event, we need y'all to come out. It's October 17th, 2021. It's at 2850 North 22nd Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19132. That's like 22nd and Cambria. We're going to have organizations coming out. Like I had mentioned some before, we're going to have local Philly businesses coming out, majority black businesses, so you can come support them. We'll be selling their merchandise. We're going to have a table specifically set up to sell platters, $15 each. Any money.
You have 1 minute left.
And that money will go towards the legal fund. We're going to have games, raffle, and we're going to try to have it going on, but we need y'all to come out and support and do what you can to help Tion get this lawyer and help our fight against the criminal justice system and the prison industrial complex.
Hello, this is a free call from an incarcerated individual at SCI Fayette. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored.